your paperwork. And so they fished around and finally pulled out a crumpled up couple white sheets of paper and said, here's our seizure notices and everything. And I looked over and I said, hey, this is a little strange. I said, this is a little bit perplexing. I said, you're Harold and you're Jones. And I said, your names are at the bottom of these seizure notices. And he says, yeah, our name's at the bottom of it. We're here to seize this property for the United States government. I said, let me show you something. Let me show you something.
All right. What he's showing there, this is part two. You know what? I ran out of time, and I started watching the end of this, and, this is very important stuff. All right, I'm going to leave a link, and I just want you to see that all you need to know is the Constitution. And that's it. Okay? All of these rules and regulations, that's all well and good because we can use that against them. But the main thing that you have in your favor is the Constitution. All right? They don't talk about it too much. My attorney, I was dealing with, a couple of months ago, I brought up the Constitution. She's like, well, let's stay away from that because, we don't want to start getting into interpreting the Constitution. I didn't feel like arguing with her because I just met her. But I'm laughing. There is no interpretation. See, that's what these lawyers and judges have done to the Constitution, is they started with this interpretation stuff. And the Constitution is not to be interpreted. It is as it is. It's written in plain English. Okay? So if your property, it says under the Fourth Amendment, just go read it. And what he's pulling out is this little pocket Constitution. Right now in 7-Eleven, in my area, they're selling these Constitutions, like in a plastic tube. And it's like $9. Or go on Amazon and buy a pocket Constitution, or go on the internet. I gave you a link in the instructions. Or go anywhere. Just, Google the Constitution and read it. And that is all you need to know. Okay? And that's what this man here is doing, all right? He's like a hero of mine because that's the way I would learn how to be a police officer. Okay? Because I told you a million times, but we used to make arrests. I worked in Manhattan and, to show law and order. And I did that, okay? And the Manhattan DA's office is a jumping off point for a lot of attorneys. So if you go to a good college and your family's hooked up, one of the places you want to, if you want to make big money as a private practice attorney, you want to get a starting point in the Manhattan DA's office. JFK Jr. worked there. A lot of these attorneys big-time attorneys from New York City area that you'll see talking on Fox News and stuff, MSNBC, they used to work in the Manhattan DA's office because it's a training ground. And they do everything by the books there very well. I mean, I learned a lot there. I mean, I'm proud to say that I went there a lot. I mean, I must have went to the Manhattan DA's office at least 75 times, easy. Man, think about it, that's a lot. In my first 4 years as a police officer. All right, and then I went on to other things. You learn the job and then you move on to take it easy a little bit. I went into work in the police academy and onward I went. That's why I like to do this. I like to teach. All right, so if I made an arrest, I had to make sure I got all my I's dotted and my T's crossed, and that's what I'm doing here. What we're doing is we're gathering evidence. The way I handle this child support stuff is like an investigation. I'm gathering evidence, and then later on we're going to spring the evidence on them and say, okay, you're claiming you're allowed to do it, but this evidence here says otherwise. All right, and what do we use off as our basis? The Constitution. So your employer is saying, yeah, but we got to send the money. They sent us a letter. There's a letter that says we got to send it. You're going to say, yeah, all right, but I say you need a warrant. And no lawyer is going to argue with that. If you ever get in front of a lawyer and they say that, you go, all right, but I thought the Fourth Amendment was still in effect. my federal case, I wrote an order to show cause, and that was one of my questions. I'm like, is the Fourth Amendment suspended in the United States? And I never saw the judge. I don't even know what she looks like. And they wouldn't see me that day. And then they pulled a dirty trick on me. Another judge answered my paperwork that was given to another judge, and they dismissed it. So right there, I got two judges conspiring to deprive me of my rights. Remember I said yesterday I'm going to be filing a doozy. That's one of them. All right? But, all right, let me let this guy finish, and then I'm going to end the video. But I want you to realize that the Fourth Amendment is your guarantee that they cannot seize your property. I mean, they are doing it. So what they're doing is they're actively violating your Fourth Amendment rights. All right? Let's see my man here.
I said, read right there. Read right there. It's in the book. And it said, what's the book? I said, it's the U.S. Constitution. You would have thought that they just saw a cross.
It is. The Constitution is the cross for criminals.
They shrunk back when I said it was the U.S. Constitution. Ah! Where did you get that? I said, out of my back pocket. Oh, is there power in this? And he said, well, we don't want to hear about the Constitution. I said, read that. And they read it. And it said that it would be signed by what? A magistrate based on probable cause. Signed by a magistrate. And I said, who signed these papers? And they said, we signed them. Which one of you are the magistrate? No, there was not a magistrate among us. I know.